What's up, everybody? This is Presto
CorporalNosaj,
and you are listening to episode 89 of the Nintendads podcast, Surviving Open Worlds. Today, we are talking about the schnazziest new open world survival games, Enshrouded, and of course, Palworld, which some of you may have heard of.
You can't discuss open world survival games in this climate without discussing Palworld.
Palworld has taken the world by storm, but is it the best that you can play right now? I'm not so sure.
You and I differ. You and I differ on some of this opinion. We'll discuss it. We'll get into it.
Yes, but as always, we need to discuss what are you playing, Corporal?
So, I have been playing a bunch of Genshin Impact and Minecraft lately. Yeah.
What a weird... It's like you took Enshrouded and you separated out its key ingredients and you're playing like deconstructed Enshrouded, like you're in some kind of fancy French restaurant.
Yeah, actually.
Hey, Charles Hannaford, how are you? Hero, logging in a new Palworld playthrough. Nice. Welcome in. Remember that one time we thought Genshin was coming to the Switch and Hero said, no, it's not coming to the Switch.
Yeah.
And we were like, no, it is. Hero, you were right. We got to give credit where credit's due. It's never coming to the Switch.
The rumors were lies.
It wasn't a rumor. It was an announcement.
Yeah, it was
Hoyoverse announced it's coming to the Switch.
They didn't know what they were talking about.
Soon, TM. It was a Half-Life 3 soon.
Yes. Yeah.
I have been playing Allergy Simulator, Spring Allergy Simulator, as you're going to be able to hear. I'll try not to sniff too much. I've been playing a lot of Enshrouded, a lot of Blaze Blue Entropy Effect, which is a roguelike beat 'em up. That's totally taken over my free time. It's amazing. But I'm gonna do a fridge review video of that, which we'll also talk about in a minute. Then I have also been playing Tribes 3 Rivals because they put a demo out for Steam Fest or the indie, whatever is going on right now with Steam indie games. And it's a full multiplayer demo of Tribes 3 Rivals, and it's very similar to Tribes Ascend before they gutted it.
That is a viewpoint that you can have. I'll allow that.
What you been drinking, dear Corporal?
I have been drinking freshly squeezed, organic, all natural, pasture raised, ethically sourced, GMO free with A and Q vitamins from recyclable packaging, flavored with fruit from next door neighbor's warehouse. LaCroix.
What I heard a lot of off-brand LaCroix. I see. How the mighty fallen.
It's bubbly, right? And then I take some of the powder that you got me hooked onto, the like drinkable,
the Ultima, yes,
the Ultima powder, and I mix the flavor. I try to pair,
and it totally immediately decarbonates all of the seltzer because I did the same thing and made a huge mess. I know the struggle is real.
Yes, but it's not bad.
It's delicious. I'm jealous because I'm out of Ultima. I haven't ordered more yet. I've been drinking just coffee, just lots of coffee. I'm a tired guy, and I need coffee to make it through my life. Some news before we jump into our open world adventures.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but did you realize that when you open up Facebook Gaming and start chatting in our chat, a banner now pops up at the bottom that says Nintendads chat rules, and the chat rules are blank.
I guess we live in the Wild West.
Yeah.
Yes, Hero, I did watch your Tower 5 boss fight. That was insanity. Hero and his friends have basically beaten Palworld. There's nothing left for them to do.
Okay.
Some news before we get going.
Yeah.
We are producing a series called Fridge Reviews, in where we review games in the short amount of time that you would be comfortable opening your fridge, which is about a minute, as per YouTube Shorts rules.
Well, first off, it's I like to specify the amount of time that you feel comfortable leaving your refrigerator open, which is dictated by the manufacturer, because they then set off an alarm if you set it off too long.
Yeah, and you'll notice that sound is not in our videos because we do those in one take.
Yes.
We never go over time. You open the fridge, we talk, we close it, it's done.
It's done. And
sometimes
when we do
accidentally leave things in there.
We open the fridge, we talk, we close the fridge, we walk away, and we leave our Switch inside the fridge for 3 days for our wife to find later.
I mean, if I was looking for leftovers and I found a whole ass Nintendo Switch, I'd be pretty
stoked.
Yes. Some news, and this might be its own episode, but Microsoft going soft. Is the console war over? Some exclusives coming to PlayStation 5. Are they throwing in the towel for hardware consoles, do you think?
Can I tell you that I am a Microsoft fanboy? Have been through and through.
What? This really is breaking news.
Yeah. So, I have heard this rumor mill now for about 2 years.
It's not a rumor. They said some of their main titles are coming to PlayStation.
Yep. It's not. When everybody was complaining about Microsoft acquisition of Call of Duty, and they were concerned that they were going to gatekeep that from the other consoles, no, it wasn't going to happen, because Microsoft wasn't going to have a console to gatekeep it to. Like, it's been rumored for a long time that this was the direction that they wanted to go in, and I would argue that Phil Spencer has been standing on the stage saying these exact words, but not in this manner. We've known this for probably 4 years now, because Phil Spencer has said that he is trying to build a all-inclusive gaming service. He's been saying that. But consoles.
Do you think now is the time? Do you think now is the time where things are actually going to move?
Can I tell you, in a world where Netflix, Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, where everybody is going to having a streaming platform, and cloud gaming is actually becoming mainstream, I'll be honest with you. Banana. Bait maker over in the Twitch chat. That's a good one. In a world where streaming services are becoming so popular, I can tell you that our not only is streaming services becoming so popular, but cloud gaming is actually becoming a good enough service to work. Honestly, I think this is the right time.
I mean, as much as I drag on Microsoft, they do. I mean, Game Pass is phenomenal. Easily worth it. It's great.
And I'll be honest with you, there have been some pretty heavy games that have came out, day one games that have came out on cloud streaming. I still have the Xbox One, and I played Starfield day one using cloud gaming, and it ran smooth. So, I mean,
impressive, yeah.
I'm sold. I'm sold. I'm wondering what price point they're going to put in, but I'm sold.
Okay. Yeah, I could tell. I could see you getting excited. This could be its own episode.
It could be.
We'd have to circle back. In other news this week, Disney invests $1.5 billion, $1.5 billion in Epic Games, and is now basically creating the Disney multiverse within Fortnite.
Can I tell you? I mean, this is a Disney house.
You better be careful, because you might say some on the records thing that are going to get you jumped by the mouse.
I was about to say this is a Disney household, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut. But I will say I have watched the trailer video. It gave me goosebumps.
It's the only multiverse that matters.
I was so excited. I was so excited.
it does. I am not like a huge, but like as a dad, as a Nintendad, seeing the biggest, like basically the biggest name in kids media partnering with Epic and like being like, oh no, we're a video game. Like we're heavily investing in the future of media in the video game direction. I can't not like that.
I mean, Disney rolled out with their Disney Infinity, and I thought the Disney Infinity platform was one of the best Disney gaming things that came out at the time, and they got rid of it, which I was very sad about. Most of my my Star Wars things, most of my Star Wars emojis or whatever, the Disney version, the little figurines, were all Disney Infinity figurines, and I loved that. I would love to see Epic take the Disney platform and really bring it out. I also would love to say that the ability to bring all of the Disney characters into a cohesive theme, like, is cool. But also, did you see how the fish guy reached out his hand and grabbed the Thor hammer? Thinking about how Disney concepts can then be mixed with other characters.
Well, a lot of those are already in Fortnite.
Yes. I'm excited.
I think it's cool. My one fear is acquisition, because I think Epic does what it does well. I think Disney does what it does well. If this news was, because Bob Iger made very, very careful wording to say we invested $1.5 billion and bought a minority stock in Epic.
Minority, not majority.
Yes. Epic still has their hand on the wheel, and if this was an acquisition where Disney bought outright Epic or acquired them or took majority stock, I would be worried. But because Epic, as mixed reviews things that I can say about Epic, the fact that Epic is still pulling the levers and hitting the buttons, I'm okay with.
So Fate Maker over on Twitch only probably is they're planning on abandoning the Xbox brand for a multi-console approach, but that's all they would say. See, I was also thinking that maybe that they would start turning out Xbox branded PCs instead of gaming consoles.
Interesting. Oh my god, I have such fond memories of going to the Gateway stores.
Yes.
That was like cow themed for some reason as a kid. And
my
getting
first
like a
computer,
new PC.
My first computer was a cow Gateway.
Gateway Country stores. Those were so weird.
And then Fate Maker also says Disney tried their own video game approach. Yeah, and it didn't. I thought it was a great concept, but it didn't end up panning out big time. But joining with an already established publisher like Epic makes total sense. I agree. I totally agree.
Yes. The last bit of news is, if you're not in the tri-state area in New Jersey, not Florida, I don't think there's a tri-state with Florida. Anyway, there's a convention.
The triangle, the Bermuda Triangle, tri-state of the Bermuda
Triangle.
That
is so different, although the same amount of people probably go missing.
That's right.
We probably have more. Anyway, there is a little convention coming up called Ecclesion. Sorry, it's hard to pronounce. Ecclesion, which is happening in South Jersey, just outside of Philly, in Riverton, New Jersey. And it's happening in April, and we are officially partners as of like 20 minutes before this stream. So go us. It is a tabletop gaming convention. So D&D, EZD6, a bunch of different tabletop games will be represented. I will be in attendance. We're still not sure. Ooh, I love those. Those are so tasty. Sorry, listeners at home. Corporal held up a yummy, was that a Kolsch? Or a...
Schopenhauer.
Schopenhauer. The harder beers are to pronounce, the better they are.
Hoffenweiser beer. A German grapefruit beer.
Good. But yeah, we'll be at Ecclesion in April. We'll definitely be making some videos, and I think we might have a special guest coming up in an upcoming episode, but we'll keep that under the table for now.
Ooh, excited. So this is a tabletop convention that the Nintendads will be at.
Yes, I will be at it in person. Corporal will probably be at it. You'll probably be just like a floating head on a screen.
We'll see.
Craig, I'm sorry, you can't come unless you want to fly up.
Can't come.
I can get you in. All right, onward.
It's in Jersey.
To the open world. Before we jump in, we have to give a huge thank you to Keen Games and Evolve PR for hooking us up with the review codes for Enshrouded. They gave us 2 copies of the game, but that's not going to affect our opinion because we're strong, independent media. But they did give us copies of the game, full transparency and all that. But the game is amazing, so that worked out. How would you describe Enshrouded, Corporal? If you were telling somebody who's never heard of it what it is, what is Enshrouded?
So, I'll answer your question first. Enshrouded is a open world survival game, very caveman-esque survival mechanics, trying to survive against an unknown darkness.
The Shroud.
That's as far as I'll give it. I want to point out that how the game starts inside of its shell, being born from the flame, very strongly gives me MMO vibes from very specifically DCU Online, where you come out of your little shell, right?
Yes.
Throwing that out there.
I did not make that connection, but now that you said it, yeah.
I mean, you could also make the argument it's very much the very beginning of Baldur's Gate 3 coming out of the pod.
The pod, yeah.
So,
Hero, can you see our notes somehow? Because I literally have
the next line.
Elden Ring. If I were describing Enshrouded to somebody, I would say it is Minecraft plus Elden Ring plus Breath of the Wild.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Mostly because of the glider, because there's no gliding in Elden Ring or Minecraft.
Yeah.
Well, there's technically there's in Minecraft, yeah.
Yeah.
But
the dragon wings.
It's got it's got crafting and survival elements of Minecraft. It's got combat that's like Elden Ring light, and then it's got Breath of the Wild vibes.
It has the Genshin Impact kind of feel, but with a darker graphic tone.
Yes, and less uwu.
Yeah. Yeah.
We kind of have this broken down into sections to make sense of this because there's a lot here. First of all, the world that this is set in, it is the world of the Shroud, which is a mechanic where certain areas of the map are enshrouded. And while you're in the Shroud, you only can stay there for a certain amount of time before you just die. So that adds like a fun sense of, a fun sense of urgency, and like you need to go in there and you need to go quickly and you need to get in and get out.
So I'd like to back that up by saying the world is presented to you in the manner of the flame is like their god. It's what brings life. Through fire comes life and breathes life. And without fire, without light, is the Shroud.
Very survival vibes. The world, the actual map that you play on is not procedurally generated. It is handcrafted, artisanal. So it's very intentional. Has nooks and crannies to explore. It is huge. And if you were watching my stream on Tuesday, I was like mousing around and I unlocked another one of the big towers that like shows things. And I'm like, wow, I have a lot of point of interest. And I started scrolling. And then I was like, let's see, can I get to the top of the map? And I scrolled and then I zoomed all the way out. And I scrolled and I scrolled and I scrolled and I finally hit the top. this map is absurdly big. Have you tried to manually scroll to the borders of the map yet?
No, I have not.
It is, however big you think it is, it's like double to triple that size. It is wild. It was if you go back and watch the stream, I should clip it out and share it. It is, I was genuinely flabbergasted by how big this map is. It's nuts. I'm afraid. I'm afraid for my life and my free time. I should point out, this is a great time to point out that not the entire map is accessible right now because this is still in early access. It literally just became available in early access. So I have hit red borders that you cross the red border and it says, this zone is restricted from early access. Please leave now. And it goes 10, 9, 8. And then I
if you don't leave now, you die and half your stuff gets left behind in the darkness.
Yeah, on the side of a cliff. Which brings me to my next point. The exploration, you have a glider, you have a grappling hook. Exploration feels good. It feels rewarding.
Not only does exploration feel good and rewarding, but you are able to see line of sight so far. And if you can see it, you can get there.
Yes. Yeah. Well, you can get there in quotes, because my only gripe with the world so far is that sometimes exploring can be frustrating because I'll see a flame shrine on my map and I'll see where I have to get, and it is just a sheer cliff face. And I'll go, okay, I'll go around. And I'll go around and I'll have a town. I'll have to beat up all these guys. Keep going around and I'll, wipe an entire species of goats and wolves and spiders off the face of Enshrouded Earth. And I'll keep going and I will never get to where I'm going. And that's a testament of getting sidetracked, but also like sometimes I can be a little frustrated with like how big mountains are.
That very same thing happened to me and I got frustrated. So I turned back around and realized that the mountain that I was trying to get up was so incredibly huge that there was only 2 pathways to actually get up there easily. Or I would have had to increase my stamina bar so much in order to dig and climb that it just made sense that I went back and went the pathway that was already built for me.
Yeah, and I do find that like sometimes if I'm trying to get somewhere and I'm really on the struggle bus to get there, I'll get there and then there'll be a path that leads there from a direction that I didn't come from. And I'm like, well, shit.
Yeah. There's a scene in one of the Disney movies. I think it's Emperor's New Groove where that exact moment happens.
Yeah, like, it is like, oh, I took the path.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so there's a lot of verticality, which is cool when you're at the top of that verticality and you can see the entire world and you can paraglide down to wherever you want. That's cool. But getting to the top sometimes can be a bit of a struggle. And if you die, I will also say, have you encountered the Red Shroud yet?
No.
You die
so much faster.
No, not so much faster. Instantly.
Oh.
If you go into the Red Shroud, usually you die before you can react to what is happening. So I think they need to add a pinch more leniency, because it's happened to me a couple times where I've like walked and I've taken like one step into the red and it's like, Red Shroud, leave now. And I turn around and I'm dead.
I mean, it is still in beta, so we'll figure it out. But
yeah.
Enshrouded is a very fun game.
Yes, I have been sucked in. I would say around the 6-hour mark, I hit that stride between where I'm not having to like go out and intentionally gather resources. I'm just picking stuff up as I go on along. And then when I go back to my base, I have enough to do with what I want to do.
Yeah.
Which transitions perfectly into building and crafting, our next topic of conversation. And I'll let you lead the charge on this, because I have no interest.
Yeah, that's typical. Typical. Everybody, just look at the squib. That's
you missed
good.
your calling as an interior designer.
I did. Architect, interior designer. I actually just hired an architect. That's a side skip. Anyway, one of my favorite things to do in Minecraft was be the builder. We assigned roles to people when we played the Minecraft server.
We did.
Remember that? And
Yeah.
I chose El Builder, which is Italian for builders, the builders, and that was my title.
Bernie would be so proud.
So, all right, was it El Constructor? I think it was El Constructor.
That sounds French as hell.
It was something I couldn't pronounce it.
Constructore.
But that was my thing, is building, creating massive, large, grand buildings. Right now, where I'm at in Enshrouded, I got 4 walls and an overhang roof. Like that's
all you need.
Yeah.
Don't overcomplicate it, Tim the Toolman Taylor. You just get by.
You were the one who sent me the video of the Hobbit hole with the fireplace on the inside. Like, well, I have aspirations, my man.
Well, okay, so I will eventually sit down and make like a cool thing, because Enshrouded, one of the standout features is it has such a flexible building system in where you can make a wall, right? And then you can take that wall and you can put it at any height you want. You can overlap it with other walls. It's not like you have a meter, a wall that's like a meter or 3 meters, and you have to build in those 3 meter increments. You can overlap things. You can create little lips and like overlaps and crevices and details, and you have different materials, and it's a very nuanced system that I am too meat-headed to ever really take advantage of. But I'm sure Corporal is going to build something beautiful and extravagant.
So I have watched a lot of videos on Enshrouded building, and I'll be honest with you, I have not yet to see Hogwarts Castle. So I
bet you it's out there.
I kind of have a vision.
Oh no.
So
I'm gonna go into our world and I'm gonna be like, where's all my building material? I had like 1,000 stone in here. Where is it? I can't make a pickaxe.
Yeah. Fatemaker says, in crafting, Conan, I was a builder too. It was mostly all 5x5 foot panels, but the first 6 months I played, I built squarish structures until I learned how to use wedges and started building circular buildings and structures after. Yeah. That's totally me.
The crafting in this game is interesting because the tech progression involves you going out and finding NPCs. So you go out and you find the blacksmith. He lets you make a forge. Now you can make weapons and armor. Then you go out and find the alchemist. The alchemist lets you make potions and magic stuff. Then you find the hunter and the farmer, and then I haven't even found them all yet, and I'm like 14 hours into the game.
Can I just tell you that I know the game is still in beta, but how you acquire them versus how they show up at your base is lazy writing. Absolutely lazy writing.
You use a summoning staff. No, you summon them to you.
This is a survival world. You don't just snap into existence with a...
Well, here's the thing.
Hold on. Your summoning staff? Yeah, let's talk about this. Your summoning staff is so crafted with a stick and a rock. You put the two together on a crafting table.
That's how I make my summoning staffs. Yeah. I don't know what...
No.
Anyway.
I want the blacksmith to be forged from fire the way I was, and then
maybe he was. He came out of a pod,
and then I have to bring him back home through the shroud.
Hell no! I would rather have the biggest plot holes than an escort quest. No way. I can barely escort you between the shroud and our base. I'm not taking an NPC. Hell no.
Or you at least have the conversation with him about which base you want to go to, because you can build more than one base. You select the location you want him to go to, and then as an NPC, he walks himself there.
and he
That's
gets killed
fine.
by wolves.
That's
No,
fine
thank
for me.
you.
I don't like this snap your fingers, build a
Why don't you?
summon.
Why
No.
why don't they just do a Baldur's Gate style where you just put his entire body in your backpack
I mean, that might be better.
along with 50 explosive barrels? I
Continue.
will say that crafting is a pain in the ass at first, because when you craft stuff, you have to have the materials on you until you unlock the magic chest. And when you unlock the magic chest, anything that's in the magic chest is a resource that you're available to craft with at all times when you're in your base. So if you go to the blacksmith and the blacksmith needs metal scraps, animal fur, stone, and twigs, you have to go through your tiny storage chest and find those all things, put them into your inventory, go to him, and then he'll make your stuff. But when you have a magic chest, you just put it in the magic chest and he can draw resources. You can draw resources. Your crafting bench can draw resources. It makes it a million times easier. So just ignore everything and make the magic chest. It's worth it. I promise you it makes... I waited way too long to make it. And now that I've made it, that's like... It literally changes the game. It makes everything so much easier and faster. I'd like to see them introduce you obtaining and being able to build the magic chest way earlier in the progression.
That sounds like the Ender chest.
Yes, it is kind of like that, but it's necessary. Combat. Hey, it's me. Combat. Your old best friend. Combat in this game is like a light version of Elden Ring, because it's third person. You have stamina. You have to, watch your stamina. And there's only one like basic attack button, but you have different weapons. So you have one-handed swords, a shield, two-handed axes, two-handed spears, two-handed maces, and they all do different things. There's slashing damage. There's bludgeoning damage.
There's
Sometimes,
blocking.
there's blocking. Slashing damage will do more damage or is more effective to some enemies versus bludgeoning damage versus piercing damage. It's like a little mini D&D type system. And when you get weapons, it shows you what kind of damage it does.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's magic. So you have a wand.
Yep, go ahead.
All you have a staff that uses not rechargeable, consumable spells that you have to craft. And then you have archer. So you have like bow and arrow type system. You can make arrows. You can make different kinds of elemental arrows. So combat is very customizable in terms of the equipment, but also in terms of the RPG skill system, which there's like 10 different... It's just a big blob. It's a big tree. And you can start to get skill points in the direction of a mage, of a healer, of a brawler,
the skill
of a
tree.
tank.
The skill tree is absolutely phenomenal. You being able to choose the path of the type of person you want to become as you play and place your points in different things truly does a lot in order to enhance, I think, replayability, but also RPG element of really like becoming the type of character you want.
I finally got enough skill points and like leveled up. I think I'm level 9. No, not that high. It does take a while to level up. I think I'm level 8 or 9, and I have spec'd fully into Battle Mage and then into Wizard. And I have a double jump. The double jump is the most important skill. No matter what class you're playing, get the double jump first.
Yeah, I agree.
But I have a staff that you can enhance at your NPCs in camp, and I have a bunch of spells. I have an eternal spell, so you have to craft and use spells, but if you get an eternal spell, then you have that spell forever. It never runs out. And I am absolutely cooking enemies in like 1 or 2 hits now.
Oh, that's cool.
And I'm also doing more damage with my wand. My wand now restores mana, which then gives me more mana to use for my staff. And I've pretty much only played with magic. I haven't done any bow and arrow stuff. I've done very minimal melee combat. So you could tell by how excited and how much I'm just steamrolling this section and not letting Corporal talk very much, that this is what has sucked me into this game. When I said I reached like the 6-hour mark, that's when I crossed the threshold into having enough gear and skill points to actually make a build that made a difference in gameplay, and I was hooked. Okay.
The other thing that is phenomenal about this game is the multiplayer.
Oh.
So clearly Presto and I have to have some kind of multiplayer for us to be able to play together. But what makes the multiplayer in this so much better than almost any other multiplayer option available with any other game system out there is your individual character has a cross progression that can be carried over to your friend's play. So what you level yourself up, you can take that same leveled up character with its inventory and jump over to your friend's world and play there. Like,
it's so good.
So cool.
And you can have up to 16 players in one world.
Yes.
Which we're going to have to it's very tough to coordinate schedules, but we're going to have to start slowly gathering people that are watching the stream and people in our Discord that have the game now.
Yep.
And we'll have to figure out a time when we can get a full
everyone together
16 player lobby. That would be madness. Think about what you could build with 16 people on a server.
Insane.
Because the building is very forgiving. You get a couple pieces of stone and you now have enough to build a small house.
I'm sure that's how things like Hogwarts buildings get built, because you can't just do that by yourself.
Yeah, well, you could. I could. The other thing that I've noticed that I'm getting more into the skill trees for multiplayer is this game's skill trees and the RPG elements I was talking about is, I think, obviously there's some classes that are more, suitable for solo play, but there's a healer class. And the main node of the healer class is that you passively heal all your allies by 1 HP per second for how many points of intelligence that your character has. And while that's nice for self-healing, clearly that's meant for multiplayer play.
Yes. So you could have one person in your group who just throws all of their points into that, and as long as he stays at the back or they're close enough to your team, the whole group of you can just plow through things.
Yes, and I don't want to spoil. If you've made it this far in the review, you're gonna have something spoiled for you. I'm sorry. I didn't even know this was a thing. I picked it up I think I picked it up during my stream on Tuesday. There's a healing spell for the staff that you get, and you can channel it. And the longer you channel it, the bigger chunks of healing it does. And I channeled it on myself, but you can channel it to teammates.
Other things. Yeah.
Yes. And there's tanks, and you have an ability as a tank where you draw aggro. There's some depth to
this game,
the classes as far as how this works in multiplayer. I would love to see multiplayer themed raids and dungeons and stuff that you need multiplayer for.
Yeah.
Oh, Fuller Healer Mage, let's go. Yes. Craig has Enshrouded. He was playing with me the other day, I think. Right?
Yeah.
Were you in my world?
Yeah.
In my world. I don't know. I don't know if we've actually played together.
He got to level 5, but I don't know if he jumped into the same world as you.
Yeah, but he can, and his progression will carry over. How about that? Yeah, I've played this a lot solo, but the most fun I've had is when we played
co-op. Yeah.
Co-op, yeah. Oh, Craig was saying he has the healing spell. It's good.
So I will say, and this is going to be the preamble moving into the next section of this episode, Enshrouded is a lot of fun, but I don't think we would have, at least I wouldn't have stumbled into Enshrouded if it wasn't for Presto's constant, continuous, ridiculous begging and bickering about the game, and us playing Palworld.
Yes, I think it's interesting because Palworld came out. It obviously is crazy because it's like the Pokemon game with guns. And then Enshrouded also came out, and it was like Enshrouded and Palworld share a lot of DNA in that they're both open world survival games. But the question is, if Palworld came out 6 months from now, would Enshrouded just be absolutely dominating in Palworld's absence? Because a lot of people have made the connection between Enshrouded and Valheim, which Valheim was a game I was very close to buying multiple times. And I was just like, no, I can't get sucked into this right now. Because a lot of the systems that are in Valheim are in Enshrouded, but better from what I've seen. I haven't played Valheim. So I think Enshrouded has benefited and been hurt maybe by Palworld. I don't know. It's a weird. We'll never know. We'll never know the answer.
But I will argue that if it wasn't for Palworld, a good chunk of the gamers there now probably wouldn't have even gotten to Enshrouded. Palworld, I will make the argue, was the gateway drug for a lot of these current survival games becoming popular.
Yes. I will say flat out, I have played probably 3 to 4 times the amount in Enshrouded that I have played in Palworld, and I have not launched Palworld since I got Enshrouded.
So, I mean, let's dive into Palworld.
All right, Enshrouded, early access, get it now on Steam. Thank you, Keen Games, for giving us a copy. I would say 9 out of 10 for early access, honestly.
Early access, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. There's only one other game that I've played recently in early access that comes as close to Enshrouded, and that is BlazBlue Entropy Effect. But that's a whole other
episode.
That's a whole other thing. Fridge review coming soon. Okay. So, Palworld.
Palworld. Just to I guess to contrast the two. Do you find, I know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Do you find Palworld better or lesser than Enshrouded?
Lesser, for sure.
Okay.
But here's the thing. They're very different. They're very different. Palworld, although they're both open world and survival, Palworld is very much... You play Palworld because you are not satisfied with the last couple Pokemon releases. I think that is, if Pokemon was killing it, and that game right there, I don't know if you can see it. If Pokemon Violet was amazing, and Pokemon Violet had incredible multiplayer, and was the open world Pokemon game that we were all hoping that it would be, I don't think Palworld would have been as successful as it was. I think Palworld is become such a crazy viral hit because it's absolutely unhinged, because it's Pokemon with guns. But also I think it points out that Pokemon fans have been disappointed for the most part. I know you've been happy with the most recent releases, kind of. I think Palworld is filling the void that Pokemon has left for itself. Even though the crossovers with the gameplay are like almost like it's very small when you actually play it.
I was about to say, the fact that there is such a huge focus on Pokemon with guns is almost concerning to me, because if you actually start playing the game, Palworld's mechanics and world has almost nothing to do with Pokemon, other than the fact that you catch things in a ball. That's it.
Yes.
Like,
and then you use them as resource management, and they're like the pals become a resource to be managed. And yes, you can catch cool ones and they have unique abilities, but you're really catching them by the dozens so that you can have them refine your ore and gather your wood.
Yeah.
So you can build a war machine.
So Palworld is also an open world survival based game, but it is becoming so popular because of its parallels with Pokemon. And I think, to your point, shows a glaring light on what is lacking from the Pokemon world. And that's why it's become so popular, because it scratches the itch for the Pokemon people, but then gives them more of the sweetness that they don't get otherwise.
Yes. Also, is Palworld gonna get sued? I feel like they would have gotten sued by now. Pokemon has said they're investigating to make sure, but I feel like they just said that to be like, guys, we know they ripped us off. We're looking into it, which is corporate for we can't do anything or we just don't care.
Yeah, I don't think they're actually going to get sued. Tri Kingdom, or Craig over on Facebook, is over here saying that Palworld is the iPhone and Enshrouded is the Android. I genuinely agree with that assessment, because let's face it, while iPhone is the most popular, shiny, fancy thing that's easily accessible to more players, you can do so much more with the Android. I full-heartedly agree with that assessment.
This will be the only time I will agree in sort of saying that in that analogy, Android is better, but I don't know. I'm just not going to say anything.
Yeah, just keep keep it to yourself.
Interesting. Yeah, Hero pointed out that Palworld has showed their update roadmap, new legendaries, PvP. Interesting. PAL, PvP, and Guild Wars. Now, I think I'm sort of skipping ahead a little bit here, but I think one of the weakest points of Palworld is its combat, and I think that is going to become a glaring issue when they start doing PvP.
So I agree with you. It will become a glaring issue, but I think that it's going to expand. It has to. It has to organically grow from what it is, if it wants to survive. So following our list here, because I don't want to run us too much into overtime, but the Palworld world itself, if we're going to make comparisons to Pokemon, is more beautiful than any of the Pokemon games released to date. Like, it is so much better, and it's a clear sign that the Pokemon, I guess, market could do with a facelift, right? Without a doubt, they needed to get improvement. It is very big. It is a very large, massive map.
It's pretty.
It's large. It's beautiful. It's very vast for exploration. In the survival sense, there is a lot of resources to gather. It doesn't have like the digging element, like you can physically alter the terrain the way you can in Enshrouded, but the building mechanics are there to have the same type of versatility of building that you can with Enshrouded. Maybe not to its highest extent that Enshrouded has, but most of the crunchiness of it is there, which gives it a great replayability, and you're able to play with friends. So, I mean, that is awesome. The downfall comparing to Enshrouded is that you do have to start over with a fresh character. You don't get to transfer your character directly over to your friends' world.
I wonder if they will introduce that. I wonder, because I remember I was fighting a boss on stream and I got my ass kicked and I was like, ugh, does anybody want to come help me? And Craig's like, I'll come help you. And he jumped into my world and he's like, I am naked and afraid. I have a totally new character. And I was like, oh, I didn't think about that. I don't know why I thought you could just bring your pals with you. Which I guess if you could, then you could be like, hey, come help me beat
the entire
final
game.
boss. I'm level 2, and someone like Hero could just come in and be like, okay, and just face roll. So
it may be where, like in Pokemon, if you are a level 10, you can come with your level 10 characters.
Yeah. That would be interesting. I feel like they would have had to build that in from the ground up, because trying to put that in retroactively is not.
Yeah, I hear that.
It's not going to work. Pal breeding is also a pain in the ass, just like Pokemon. So yeah, the world is pretty good. Base building, Corporal's handling all that, so
I love it. Presto's like, you need 4 walls and a roof in order to get a base. Let's put one up. And then I'm over here like, no, we need a bedroom. There's got to be a kitchen. There's got to be a bar over here. Let's put stairs over here to get upstairs.
I have seen so many videos of people building their entire bases out of wood, and then it just burns down.
Yeah.
And our entire base is made out of wood. So I'm just...
But you can level up your materials to use stone later on.
Yes. Have you seen the castles in twin buildings? Yes.
Yes.
People are making some crazy stuff in Palworld.
And because the game, is available on Xbox Game Pass, so
that is a huge draw, too.
It is a huge draw.
I mean, that's how I'm playing it. I don't actually own it.
So the fact that it's on Xbox Game Pass makes it easily accessible to more people, which is phenomenal. Oh, excuse me. Also, the fact that it has that PAL Pokemon-esque part of it, so many people are getting excited about the game and jumping into the game, which is allowing it to spread like wildfire. So there is a larger, I'm going to say, fan base for it. So I think we're going to see...
Yeah, it's got the accessibility for sure.
I think we're going to see the building mechanic utilized a lot more for that reason.
Yeah. But the actual pals, I will say a lot of the designs are really cool. Presto is amazing. I love him. Some of them are just Pokemon. Some, you can't convince me that they're not. They're literally like models that were ripped out of Pokemon.
Everyone,
I mean, good on them, because they chose the good-looking Pokemon to rip off. At least there's a lot of whack-looking Pokemon.
I'll be honest with you, I've seen a lot of the side-by-sides. They're not that close. But
they are. You're not looking at the same side-by-sides.
We'll see if the court of law has anything to do with it. But it's also in Japan, so
yeah. I will say there are some cool elements with the pals. Like, they have unique attacks. They have different stats. Certain pals can harvest different resources. And, like, you know, your flame guy comes in and he cooks your food for you. The first time that happened, I was like, oh,
yeah,
he did it on his own? That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Palworld caters to people of different skills levels because you can adjust the world settings. Yep. That is true. I haven't messed with that, but I remember looking at that and being like, oh, you can really make this as easy or as hard as you want.
Yep.
It's also cool that you can make gear for the pals. You can make harnesses. You can make saddles for riding, and torches. You just make guns. Here, little cute friend, I made you an assault rifle.
And you can have your base be raided by the nearing factions and have to fight.
I do like that a lot.
Yeah.
But I wish the combat, I just wish it was a little more.
Okay. So you need to increase the depth of character progression, and you need better combat mechanics.
Yeah. Because I mean, you play Enshrouded. Like, that was the initial thing, is I saw Palworld and I was like, okay, and I got guns for the pals and I'm like, this is pretty cool. But then I saw Enshrouded and it was like, I saw somebody like parry an enemy and then like strike and then jump back and pull out their bow and like finish them off. And I'm like, I want that. I want to do that. And then I spec'd in full magic and did none of that. But that's besides the point.
You are such a combat mechanic whore.
Damn, it's true.
Gameplay mechanics
for combat.
You have a thing.
Wait, what? That was a StarCraft era. I long for combat.
A Klingon?
Klingon. Protoss.
Oh.
There's just so many nerdy things at once.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'll probably boot Palworld back up at some point and play it. It will be interesting because Palworld, like Enshrouded, is in early access. So it will be, you know what? A year from now, what's today? Today is February 9th, 2024. February 9th, 2025, we should come back and see the state of these two games and see where they're at. See where Palworld is in a year and see where Enshrouded is in a year. I think that... Why? Oh, okay, yeah. Presto and I have the same alignment. Magic, let's go. Yes. Yes. I usually roll mage. I usually roll mage, wizardy, magic, warlock, and D&D. I'm very curious to see what you end up speccing into an Enshrouded. Well, you can the healer tree. So the way that the Enshrouded skill tree is it's wizard, healer, battle mage. So healer and battle mage are right next to each other, and they both have intelligence points in the nodes. So I think the common skill between the healer tree and the battle mage tree is a teleport. Your roll becomes a short distance teleport. And then in battle mage, I think one of the main nodes is when you parry an attack with a shield, you gain mana every time you parry. So it is meant to be like up close brawler, but you're still using magical items. Because when I'm using my wand, I have a shield. I have a nice shield, and I'll parry people and then wand them and set them on fire, jump away, parry. Because if you're going full magic in Enshrouded and you get rushed, you are in trouble if you don't have a shitload of stamina. I have gotten bum rushed by these little insects. That's been like the main cause of my deaths. Because damage, the wand is single target. And when you have 10 guys coming at you, that's not going to cut it. I did not finish Elden Ring Hero. Not even close. I made it to the Magic Academy. I'm at Reyna. And I was just like, I do not have 6 hours to hit my face against the keyboard for Reyna. Yeah, I think that'll do it.
I'm a Harry Potter wizard.
You're a lizard, Harry. Do we have a side quest?
Of all the survival games that you have played over the years, is there one that you wish you could go back to that you find more nostalgic than you would want to play Enshrouded?
Wait, say that again?
Of all the survival games that you have played over the years, is there one that you want to go back to because it's more nostalgic than the urge to play Enshrouded?
Oh, I mean, I have a very special relationship with Minecraft. Mm-hmm. I mean, Minecraft, I wish I could go back and play Minecraft for the first time again.
Yes.
Because my son is obsessed with Minecraft to the point where I don't want to play it because he's constantly asking me to play it, and he plays on the Switch, and Minecraft runs like a 3-legged dog on the Switch. It's terrible. But I played Minecraft not to like flex, but I played Minecraft when it was in beta.
Let me define.
Early.
We can flex. And it was you who got me into it. We played Minecraft back when the only thing there was a browser to launch the game. It was a real-time browser.
It was browser-based, and it's the browser version still ran better than the Switch version runs now.
And the only thing you had to do was build a dirt house and hide from zombies.
Yes. Yeah, that was... Yeah,
that was how far back when we got into
times.
Minecraft. Yep.
I got Minecraft when I got a humble bundle for a bunch of like indie games, and it came with the alpha version of Minecraft, like the alpha test version of Minecraft.
Really?
And I was like, "Oh, what's this? This looks so retro and funky." And I tried it, and I was like, "Oh, this is kind of cool." Oh. And then I realized you could like copy it and give it to people. And I'm pretty sure that's what I did. I copied it and I gave it to you.
Yeah.
And then you were like, "Oh, this is cool."
Yeah.
So Minecraft will be the ultimate survival game for me. Hero said, "I'm playing as many games as I can now because next year Monster Hunter Wilds will eat me up whole." Amen to that. That is exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I wish they would give us a window or a quarter or like the first half of 2025 versus the last half of 2025 for Wilds. We'll get it eventually. At first, I thought Minecraft was for kids until I played it and filled our whole base with redstone contraptions.
Yes.
Oh, we could do a whole episode talking about the crazy shit that we built with redstone.
Oh my, I wish we still had access to our original servers so we could show off some of our past builds.
I've tried to load some of my past builds into Minecraft. First of all, it's Java version, aka the best version. But like all the updates in terrain generation and mechanics, most old worlds will come out looking like Swiss cheese. It just doesn't. It doesn't vibe. It doesn't. But yeah. So thanks for hanging out with us, y'all. Make sure to follow us on TikTok because we are trying to get to 1,000 followers on TikTok so we can live stream there.
Yo, the moment that happens, we are going to go ham.
Yes, I will eat ham on TikTok live.
Yes.
I never got into Minecraft. It's too late now, Greg.
It is.
They ruined it.
It's too late now. We're too old.
Oh, no, we are. We're too old for a skibbity Fortnite.
Yep.
We got phantom taxed. Anyway, Corporal, are you playing Enshrouded on Sunday?
Yeah, I'm going to load up the same map and I'm going to see if I can just keep going.
I'm going to sneak in there.
You should.
With my magey. I need to see... You need to see Nippy's at 1,000. You get us to 1,000, Craig.
If you get us to 1,000, if you help bring us to 1,000, I'll stream on Twitch or on TikTok.
Wait, can we make a hot tub stream goal for when we get to 1,000 on TikTok? Because Corporal has a hot tub
with awesome, fancy, fun lights.
Do it. Start creating burner accounts, Craig. If you start now. All right. That's our episode, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. We will see you later.
Peace.
Bye.